Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, reveal the books I bought this week, and, if I screw up, a blooper reel. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nolly, and I am the Comic Hero. Coming to you from Glitz Comics right here in Monroe, Louisiana. And this past weekend, we lost an actor who we were all fans of, and it doesn't exactly matter what generation you grew up in. And I'm talking about Adam West. He passed away from a very brief battle with leukemia. And we all, a lot of us know him as both Batman and Adam West from the Batman TV series in the mid to late 1960s, 1966 to 1969 to be exact. But then another generation also know him as the mayor of Quahog on Family Guy. And in memory of Adam West, I'm wearing this, I made this Adam West Batman themed Comic Hero tee, and I'm wearing this Batman hat. You know, there'll never be another Adam West. Never. I know one of my roommates once said that Adam West was the worst Batman ever. I beg to differ. He was the first Batman any of us ever knew. I mean, before there was Ben Affleck, before there was Christian Bale, before there was George Clooney, before there was Val Kilmer, before there was Michael Keaton, there was Adam West. So Adam, I know you're somewhere up in heaven. I know you're watching this, so we love you and we miss you. All right, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. All right, last week's episode, I asked, who first played the role of Shredder on the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series? Now, the hint that I gave was that he was also famous for playing the role of Uncle Phil on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Well, the correct answer is James Avery. And 12 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their name's been entered in a drawing for a free tee. And that takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Eric Evans from Benton, Louisiana. So congratulations, Eric. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. All right. Here's the question for next week's episode. And this is a very easy question because this is a Green Lantern question. I mean, a lot of folks know the answer to this question. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if anyone that's currently here right now would answer. But hey, if y'all answer off camera, please. Who was the dying Green Lantern who gave up his ring to Hal Jordan? Everyone who answers correctly being entered in a drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show. All right, now no one has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight. However, I have one of my own, and it features two superheroes whose superhero names are insects. Representing DC, we have Bumblebee. And representing Marvel, we have the Wasp. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Bumblebee versus the Wasp. Bumblebee can shrink to insect-like sizes. Her solar-powered suit enables her to fly via bee-like wings, fire sonic force blast, and unleash electrical stings. The Wasp possesses size manipulation, flight, bioelectric energy blast, and telepathic insect control. Who will win? This would start off as an aerial chase. Bumblebee would then unleash an electrical sting at the same time that the Wasp unleashes an electrical energy blast. They would both knock each other to their knees. Bumblebee would be the first one to get back to a vertical base. She would then deliver a vicious beatdown to the Wasp. What Bumblebee didn't know is that the Wasp telepathically summoned a mass swarm of hornets and wasps to come to her aid. They would all sting Bumblebee until she's unconscious. The Wasp wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that fight, and if you have a fight request for future episodes, contact info is down there. Alright then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, first up is Hal Jordan and Green Lantern Corps number 22. Now, this is part of a new story arc entitled Fracture, and I'm still a little behind on reading this book. I'm trying to get caught up with reading others, but I'll let you know what happens in a future episode. But what I can tell you, though, is that in this book, Hal Jordan is back with the Green Lantern Corps, and not only that, the Green Lantern Corps and the Sinestro Corps have joined forces. Next up is The Flash number 24. This is part of a story arc entitled The Color of Fear, where the Flash teams up with the Hal Jordan Green Lantern once again. And the last issue of The Flash that I read was number 22, which was the conclusion to The Button, which by the way was one of the greatest story arcs I've ever read. But let's just say that they meet the Flashpoint Batman, which happens to be Dr. Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father, and he tries to bring him back to the New 52 universe, but he's saying, "No, leave me here. This is how I'm supposed to die." And that all sets up the events that are supposed to happen later on this year, called the Doomsday Clock. Yikes! All right, next up are 2 issues of the same book, and that book is Secret Empire. I'm trying to keep these books from falling. Okay. And I have Secret Empire number 3 and Secret Empire number 4. Now, this book, I read the first 2 issues of this book, and Captain America has already pretty much taken over the world. There's an underground group led by the AI version of Tony Stark, and there have been a lot of bad things happening. But then Steve Rogers ends up recruiting his own team of Avengers that include Deadpool, and Odin's son, just to name, and the Scarlet Witch, just to name a few. And then at the very end of number 2, we see a figure that refers to himself as Steve Rogers. Woo! All right. Next up is Uncanny Avengers number 24. Now, this is a tie-in to Secret Empire. And these are the Unity Squad, which consists of the Human Torch, the Wasp, Rogue, Synapse, and Dr. Voodoo. Well, not Dr. Voodoo, but Brother Voodoo. And they're trying to, figure out why is Steve Rogers doing all this, and they're trying to take him down. All right, next up is Action Comics number 981. Now, this is part of the story arc entitled Revenge, where a brand new Superman Revenge Squad is being formed, and we find out that the cyborg Superman, that ever since the events of Superman Reborn, the identity of the cyborg Superman is once again Dr. Hank Henshaw, just like it was in the pre-Flashpoint DC universe. And he and the Eradicator have gone to Belle Reve to break out, of all people, Zod. Oh boy. Yeah, well, there's one way to beat Superman, Zod. Anyway, next up is Wonder Woman number 24. Now, this is part of the story arc entitled Godwatch, which is written by Greg Rucka. and penciled by Nicola Scott, but they've had guest pencilers come in to pencil it as well. I mean, they're alternating story arcs. You have The Truth and you have God Watch. Now, the first one were called The Lies and Year One, which were both great story arcs. And Rucka, who's actually going to be leaving the book real soon, has not disappointed. All right, next up is Back to the Future number 20. Now, this is part of the story arc entitled Hard Time, and I've yet to read number 19. I read number 18. Number 18 was great. It talked about when Professor Irving was going to go on his date, and he wanted some advice from Doc. And Doc told him this story about when he went back in time to find a gift for Clara, and all because he forgot about their anniversary. And he also stressed the importance that love the one you're with, and that is something that, I mean, when you're in a relationship with somebody, whether it's just dating, whether you're engaged, whether you're married, you have to acknowledge them, folks. And that's what happened in number 18. All right, and then finally, Detective Comics number 958. This is part of a new story arc entitled Intelligence. Now, still trying to get caught up with this. The last story arc I read was Batwoman Begins, where this group called the Colony, that was led by her father, Colonel Jacob Kane, has come to break him out of the brig that they designed over at the brand new Belfry in Gotham City. And then this other story arc that happened before, they call it the Victim Syndicate. That has been one of the better story arcs I've ever read, because we always wonder about what would happen to some of the victims, some of the folks that were caught in the crossfire of Batman's war on crime, and we find out. And some of them are really twisted, and it's really due to not due to Batman, but really due to the villains. I mean, there was even a character who was attacked by who ended up getting a whiff of the Scarecrow's fear gas, and she calls herself Madam Crow. All right, that's not I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 7,993. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and here's the question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. Who is the dying Green Lantern who gave up his ring to Hal Jordan? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in the drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show, rather. And congratulations to Eric Evans from Benton, Louisiana, who won a free tee in this week's episode. All right, it's birthday time here on the Comic Hero Show, and happy birthday yesterday to one of my friends that I went to college with at Bossier Parish Community College, Kimberly Condon. Happy birthday to one of my friends I was in band with in the Sound Today, Gabby Riviere. Happy birthday to one of my friends that I went to college with at Tech many years ago, Ben Work. And then happy birthday today to one of my friends that I went to college with at Tech many years ago, who's also the band director at Minden High School, Curtis Mills. Happy birthday to one of my friends that I went to school with at Homer High School, Daniel Smith. And then happy birthday to one of my classmates from the mighty class of 2000 at Homer High School, Amanda Burns. And happy birthday tomorrow to one of my friends that I went to school with at Homer High School, Ben Gamble. Happy birthday to Alias co-creator Michael Gatos. Happy birthday to one of my friends from Eros, Louisiana, Kyle Pham. And then happy birthday to one of my friends that I was in band with and went to school with at Homer High School, Lindsay Hardaway. And happy birthday this Friday to my old trumpet professor's wife, Karen Whittick. Happy birthday to one of my friends and classmates from the mighty class of 2000 at Homer High School, Shaka Holmes. Happy birthday to one of my former co-workers from Benton, Louisiana, Plain Dealing, Louisiana, Teresa Kimball. And happy birthday to one of my friends that I was in band with at Tech many years ago, April Woods. And happy birthday on Saturday to my cousin from Shreveport, Louisiana, Eric Nunley. Happy birthday to one of my friends that I was in band with at ULM, Molly Yorks. Happy birthday to Rustin's very own and one of them, and probably one of the most likable employees of Tommy's Teas, Larry Lambert. And then happy birthday to one of my friends I went to school with from Homer, Lindsay Sandifer. And happy birthday this Sunday to the West Monroe Police Department's very own Detective Justin Cummings. And happy birthday to one of my friends that I was in a trumpet section with at Louisiana Tech many years ago from Lake Charles, Louisiana, Charles LeBleu. All right, folks, I am 7 away from 8,000 comics. And I tell you, next week's episode is going to be all kinds of lit. Right now, I'm in the process of inviting a lot of folks to next week's episode. It's not going to be on a Wednesday. It's going to be next Saturday, June 24th. I'm going to start sending some invites. Let me know if you want to come, and I'll make it happen. Oh, and also, don't forget about my mom's, my mom and I's t-shirt making business, Turner Road Designs. I made this shirt. Now, y'all probably can't tell, but I didn't use the iron-on method to make this shirt. I actually used actual vinyl. And then, and for those of y'all who don't know, the back of the tees look different. Instead of the main logo, I have the word mark. But the prices of the shirts will not change. They'll still be $10 for adults and $5 for youth. All right, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 171. Hopefully it'll be the episode where I get to 8,000 comics. Right back here at Clint's Comics next Saturday. So till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and we love you, Adam West. Fly high.